You know the vibes. If I'm doing a late night live or early morning, y'all know that God be like, go live. So I go live. Anyway, if you're new here, my name is Ty, the manifestation goddess. I'm an energy alchemist, spiritual oracle, heavy on the spiritual oracle, and a manifestation mentor. Make sure you grab your passenger princess guide in the description, as that's really going to make everything click for you. Anyway, we are on, I believe, day 11 of the I Remember challenge. Could be day 12, don't really know. But the revelations each day has been so mind blowing, so eye opening, so peaceful, all of the things. So I wanted to share what was revealed to me a couple of days ago, and of course, I know I sit on things before I share or talk about them. So I wanted to sit on this one before I talked about it. And I've had spiritual awakenings before. If you're a spiritual girly, spiritual god, you already know how spiritual awakens were ever expanding and it keeps going and going and going. But I had a Kundalini awakening, and it's funny because I'll hear certain spiritual terms and it don't necessarily resonate with me at the time. And I was like, okay, like what's really the difference between a Kundalini awakening and a spiritual awakening? We ain't talking about that in that video. Just know when you go through a Kundalini awakening, you will know that it's completely different from the traditional spiritual awakening. So when I was having this experience, and this is probably going to be a longer video because this could be like four videos in one, but I'm going to just do like a overview of the entire experience for me. So like lately I have been meditating on. Hey, beautiful. So lately I have been meditating on like spiritual warfare. I don't know why that's just been like something I've been thinking about because I know we hear about spiritual warfare, blah, blah. And I was just like, I don't even know if I really believe in spiritual warfare. And as I was really meditating on it, like what was revealed to me is like spiritual warfare is not how we traditional think of it as when people are like, oh, dark spirits are out to get you, blah, blah. Like that's not what spiritual warfare was to me, how it was revealed to me. It's more so a mind that you're having within yourself. So it's more of a war that you're having within yourself. It's like two, let me see how to explain it. It's like you're at odds with yourself. That's really what it is. Like the way God was showing to me, it was like when your heart and mind are at odds with one another. That's how spiritual warfare was shown to me. Like when you're thinking about fear and, let me see how to say it, like fear and love, like the opposites. Those tend to be spiritual warfare when you're at odds within yourself. And God had shown me that the spiritual warfare never existed. The only thing you had to do was remember that you were never at war with yourself. And the way, when I tell y'all, when God was showing me this, when I was in meditation, I was in tears because the way God showed me it was such a beautiful metaphor. It was like a divine symphony. That's how God showed it to me. Like, spiritual warfare is over when you're in divine harmony, and then divine harmony was like this divine symphony. It was like this beautiful dance of opposites. That's how it was. That's pretty much how it is. It's like the beautiful dance of opposites. And it was like, y'all, when I tell you this Kundalini awakening, like I was hearing the dance, I was seeing the dance, I was hearing the music. It was like everything was working together. And it was so beautiful to the point that I was moved to tears. And I've been sitting on this energy for a few days. And when I tell y'all, like my life, just how internally how I feel is so at peace. It's beyond. I feel like every time I say like I'm at a certain level of peace, like I can't get more peaceful. You can get more peaceful. It was literally like, y'all. When I tell you, I'm going to have to make separate videos because it was it was just so many things, like the way God showed it to me, like the divine symphony, the like divine harmony. And then it was like from dust you'll start, from dust you begin, to dust you'll remain, or dust you'll return. It was showing me like a whole desert storm, but the desert storm, like you are part of the desert. So like say that you're a grain of sand in the desert, but you're still of the desert. Like you're not separate. And the spiritual warfare is when you think of everything as separate, and you are not separate from anything. You're the ocean, you're a drop in the ocean, but you are still the ocean. And God really was like, you need to see that you're not separate of me. Like you talk about oneness, you talk about the all, but you're still having ways where you're kind of separating you from me. And I need you to see that there is no separation. There is no difference between you and me. You may not be of the same quantity, meaning you're not as big as the all powerful God, but you come from God, so you have the same power. You're not separate from it. And I want to get my notes because I want to make sure don't go over this. Okay. So yeah. So I was thinking about think about human, like when I talk about separation, like I was thinking of like my humanness being separate from my divinity, like my humanness being separate from spirit, from the divine. And God was like, that is where that spiritual warfare becomes, because you're still viewing it as a separate thing and you're not understanding that everything is together for your greatest good. There is no separation. Your humanness is not separate from your spirit. Like they are in a divine dance together. And when you realize it was never a war. It's truly you dancing together and learning how to harmonize and be in balance. It was chef's kiss, y'all. Like when I tell y'all, I feel like the levels of awareness that we go through when we're on this spiritual journey, and it all started as manifestation, but everyone knows that's just a byproduct of all of this. But the levels of awareness that you go through when you're on this journey of like expansion, it's like you can know these same concepts and you come from it from a different level of awareness. Like it doesn't come from anymore like as a concept where it's now more so of an embodiment, like you're living the truth that you know to be true for you. And I know I got a lot, so I want to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, yeah. So a lot of the times we'll go back to the spiritual warfare. Like a lot of the times, like spiritual battles, we look at it as like, oh, I'm gonna fight the ego, I'm gonna fight the flesh, I'm gonna fight the darkness, I'm gonna fight myself. It's like you're fighting all of these things, so you're creating a war within yourself. Stop fighting and realize that everything is one and you're in divine harmony. That is when your spiritual warfare will end, and the peace that you are searching for will truly overcome you because you're no longer at odds or at war with yourself. So anyone who's watching this video, stop fighting yourself. Stop seeing everything as something separate of you and understand that it's harmonized. Like it can all be harmonized together. That is when the war will end, when you're truly in balance, when you're truly in harmony, and knowing that this exists because this exists. If you think about the good and the bad, like this thing exists because this thing exists. It's not separate. Like the bad is not separate of the good is not separate of the bad. But what you are here to do is to harmonize it, to put it in balance, to truly work with the energy. That was literally, oh, should have put that on the title. That was literally how God showed me. It's like when you go through this Kundalini awakening, like here's your gift, goddess. Your gift is the alchemist. But what you're learning as the alchemist is that there was never a war, and you have the power to change whatever experience you want to change by truly living in harmony. Like truly understanding that one thing is not separate of the other. And when you master this, that is when you will truly alchemize your 3D reality. That is, I feel like the way God showed me was like change the hologram. And I just kept hearing for days, change the hologram, change the hologram. And I'm like, okay, well, what is the hologram and how do I change it? And as I was meditating, it was like, okay, this is how you change it. The divine harmony. Stop thinking of things as separate from you and understanding that you're controlling all of this and it's a balance. Like it's always going to be a balance. Even if you think about like the Hermetic principles and how there's good, there's bad, there's like the pendulum, everything. I feel like all of the spiritual concepts literally all talk about the same thing. And it brings you back to this is harmony and oneness. That's really what this video is about. Everything is about harmony of and oneness, and stop trying to escape reality when everything's a balance. There's always going to be good, there's always going to be bad, there's always going to be fear, there's always going to be something. But what you do is realize your baseline frequency is God's love. Your baseline frequency is joy, is bliss. And all of this is just part of the experience. And when you start viewing it as just part of the experience, you will alchemize it a lot faster because you realize that it's all for your greatest good. It's all for some sort of lesson. It's all to expand you in some sort of way, and you stop fighting it. It's literally what it is. Stop fighting your 3D reality and understand that it's all for your greatest good in some way or another. And if you don't like it, as a spiritual being, change the hologram. And you change the hologram by stop giving your attention to what you don't want to experience. You understand that this is a choice. That's what it comes down to. You understand that whatever you're experiencing at this moment is a choice, and you can always choose different. Hey, princess, I'm going to make you a mod, princess. I'm going to say, how do I do that? Okay. Let me read our comments. I'm sure I need to go back to my notes because I'm probably sure I forgot something. And I hope all of this is really reaching the parts of you that it needs to reach, because I get that a lot of this spiritual concepts can feel very woo woo. It can feel very deep. Sometimes it can feel over your head. Honestly, like when I'm getting these downloads, sometimes I'm like, God, that's kind of above my pay grade. Like this is kind of going above me. But it's like when you sit with it, you get it, because it's not something that you can, I guess, intellectually or human truly understand. It's a embodiment. It's a feeling. It's a knowing. It really goes back to that. It's a knowing. Okay, now let me read. Oh, Lady T, when you said I'm just saying delusional, like it's done. Yes. And that is another thing about, I'm sure I didn't touch on it, but I'll get to it. That God was showing me in this 3D reality. I promise you, Goddess, and I'm saying this with so much love. Whatever you are calling in, whatever you are remembering, whatever reality that you are existing in right now, I promise you it's not big enough. I promise you, you are not being delusional enough. When God was showing me the alchemist through this Kundalini awakening, when I say delusional, and this is going to get whoever it needs to get, I mean delusional as pigs flying. Like when I say you need to get so delusional, because it's like whatever you're aiming for is literally preschool games. Like you are not being delusional enough. Lady T, I'm gonna make you a mod too. Like you are not being delusional enough. Like you need to dream your biggest dreams and beyond that. I want y'all to play this game. Again, we're on this I remembering journey, literally day 10 or 11. We got 20 more days to go. I want y'all to start playing from this day and beyond extremely delusional. When I say extremely delusional, I'm not talking about manifesting a $4,000 out of thin air. I'm talking about pigs flying type of delusional. Oh, that's what it was. I'm not going to tell y'all because honestly, I feel like I still have to process it. But when God had showed me, okay, I talked about the hologram a little bit, and I'm going to just have to break this up in separate videos at some point. Like when I was talking about the hologram and God was like, change the hologram. I was like, okay, well, how do I do that? Like I don't know what that means. So when I meditated on it, and when I tell y'all, like after I got out of meditation, caring about my day, the way 3D has shifted right in front of me, I was like, no way anyone would ever believe me if I told them this happened. Like, it was literally like one moment I was looking at something, and then the next moment it changed to something else. And I'm like, am I crazy now? Like, what's going on here? Like, this is when God was like, this is what I mean. You're not being delusional enough, and you're not understanding that this 3D game is a hologram. You keep thinking that you have to focus on this one thing. And if you keep focusing on this one thing, your 3D is going to reflect that. But the moment you change your attention, wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. Once ever you change your attention, the 3D is going to change. And I promise you, when you accept this as truth, you be as delusional as you want to be, the 3D will shift. And for those who are on this journey, and depending on where you are in your journey, if you still feel like you need a bridge of incident, it's going to happen in a natural way. But for me, because I've embraced my spiritual gifts, my 3D has been shifting in the most unnatural way, like in a way that I wouldn't even imagine. Like literally, like it's not even let me see how to say it. It's not even a hologram anymore. It's like it's not even trying to hide. Like the veil is lifted and I see things shift instantly. And it's like it's funny because I've heard people discuss this and I'm like, I don't believe that. Like, I don't think this just popped up in reality. Like, no, it really does happen that way, but it depends on where you at on your journey. What are you willing to believe as truth for you? And what are you willing to truly embrace? And what I tell y'all, the delusional, y'all not being delusional enough. Okay, now let me read y'all comments. Dream bigger because you'll get even better. Yes, y'all, I'm so when I tell y'all, it's so funny because before I did this, I remember a challenge and God was like, "You're not being delusional enough." I was like, "Okay, well, let me be more delusional." And I realized I still wasn't being delusional enough because my delusion was calling into like material things, like, "Oh, well, I want this thing, I want that thing," and it's like, I mean, I can give you that, but you're still really playing this game small. Like you're not being delusional enough, and I really need you to get that. And when I was like, okay, God, like show me what you want me to see. I'm a vessel. I'm not afraid. Like truly show me how much this is a hologram, how much this is a game." And when I said that prayer and meditated and just carried on about life, like literally showed me like things can shift right in front of your face and you don't need a bridge of incidents. But if that's not where you are, that's okay. Allow the bridge to unfold. But those who's been on this journey with me, you don't need a bridge of incidents. You're at a point where you're willing to accept the trippy. You're willing to accept the impossible. You're willing to accept the unbelievable. All you have to do is claim it and be willing and open to it. That is one thing I feel like God is never going to show you what's too much for you. When they say God would never give you more than you can handle, I really believe that now. If you're not at a space where you can accept trippy, that is okay. God is going to reveal it to you in a way that your brain can accept it. But if you are, if you like to play, if you really like to play this game and want to take it up a notch, say the prayer and allow God to truly show you how trippy this can really get. Okay, let me go back. How do we get out of just seeing movement? Oh, yes. Oh, Princess, I am so glad you mentioned movement because that was something I wanted to touch on. Whew, yes. Let me go back because I gotta know. Like I said, I got a lot of notes, y'all. Okay. So let's talk about movement. Let's talk about movement. So when we say we need to see movement, like say that you're calling in money and it's like, oh well, I need to see movement in my bank account to believe that I have this money. Or say you're calling in love, like I need to meet this person to believe that I have romantic love. God told me, and I'm probably gonna butcher this, but let me read my notes. The movement that you're seeking is the divine harmony. And when I say divine harmony, this is how I want y'all to think of it. Okay, I'm gonna have to really break this down for y'all to really get the pieces. So God was showing me divine harmony, and divine harmony being God's love. So it was saying you need to fall into divine harmony. And I was like, okay, God, what does that mean? And it was like you need to truly fall into love. And when I say not fall in love, I mean fall into love, meaning that you are loved no matter what, no matter what's going on outside of you, no matter who's in your life, no matter if you're in a romantic relationship or not, you are truly loved. And when you accept that you are truly loved, that means you're accepting that you are God being expressed. When you truly accept that as your truth, that is the movement. That is the only movement, is accepting that you are an expression of God's love. And when I say God has showed that to me, it was like, I don't know, it was like a light bulb. So whenever that clicks for you, it's going to be a light bulb. It's like, okay, like God loves me. Everything that I have in this 3D reality means that there was some sort of movement going on in the background. And that movement was simply God's love. That was literally it. Like that was literally just all God told me in it. It was like, that is the movement. The movement is my love. So stop looking for movement outside of you when you're falling into love, which means you are already inside God's love, and that is enough movement. That is enough to believe that your creation is finished and you are simply remembering because God's love has been pure and true for you thus far. That is all the proof and movement that you need. Stop looking for proof, stop looking for movement. outside of you. It is all literally within you. And when you make that shift internally, the 3D shifts with you, the hologram shifts with you. And that was literally how it was revealed to me. It was like, damn, that was so good. Like, you make that internal shift and believe this as truth. You rest in God's love. You fall into love. You're in this divine harmony. You're doing this divine symphony dance. Spiritual warfare has ended because you're now in harmony and you know that everything is a balance. That is the movement. There is nothing else for you to search for outside of you. You're going to be searching for the rest of your life if you're looking for movement outside of you. Just keeping it real. Okay, let me go back, y'all. Hey, hey, Mama Kay. Make sure you post that video. Okay, now let me go see. Movement is irritating me, LOL. I was manifesting a letter. I found unopened mail that almost, where did it go? That almost mirrors what I manifested, but wasn't. I feel like, and that's the thing, Princess. I found that happens a lot. Let me see how to say that. I feel like that tends to happen a lot where it's like an almost type of feeling. Like, oh, it almost happened. It was almost this, was almost that. That is because you're looking to the 3D to actually give you the fulfillment that it can't give you. So it's always going to be a almost fulfillment in the 3D because you're thinking in almost. But when you understand that creation is completely finished, God's love is the only movement that almost completely dissolves. It truly vanishes. When I tell y'all, I really wish that I can like go into your body and like put this knowledge because it is an embodiment. I promise you, like I've been there where I've literally said it. I don't know if I said it this month, but like recently where I'm like, damn, this almost happened. This looked like it was going to be it. I'm so close. And it's like, because you're still looking to the 3D to fulfill something. You're still looking to the 3D for movement. Once you shift internally to understanding that you are resting in God's love, that almost disappears because the 3D is going to always give you almost. The 3D wants you to stay in a loop. It's a game. It's the Matrix. It wants you to stay in the loop. Like, oh, let's give them just enough to keep them hanging on. Like, oh, let's do this. Like, oh, well, it's almost there. Like, they're playing this game like you're stuck in this rat race. But once you remove yourself from the rat race, that's really ending the spiritual warfare. You're taking yourself out of the war that never existed and resting in God's love. The 3D shifts instantly because now you know what is true. Now you know that the what is it? The illusion of the 3D is gone. Okay, let me go back. Yes, you only see what you want to see in your head. That got yes. Oh, I tell y'all, like the 3D is so tricky. Like it will give you so many almost. Like, oh, that shit used to piss me off. Yes, like so close. Like, yes, when I tell you, it's like, oh, I'm so close. It's so this, it's so that. Oh, let me tell y'all when I was talking about, I'm going to make another video, but we here, we like this. So it can be all over the place right now. When I was talking about falling into divine love, I want y'all to know like the way that was revealed to me. I want to find my notes, y'all, because it was so many notes. But the gist of it was complete surrender and trust. That's what it was when you're falling into God's love. You are in complete surrender and trust that the movement is happening because God loves you. That is it. That is the simplest form. When I say it's so funny because I feel like these concepts get simpler as you're evolving, but it doesn't mean that it's easy to understand, if that makes sense. It's very simple, but because we have this 3D experience, some of these concepts can be very challenging to understand because we are living in the 3D world. Our humanist is living in the 3D world, but it goes back to being in the world, but not of the world. When I tell you these Bible verses been hitting lately, like they have so many different meanings to me now. Like truly being in this 3D world, but not of this 3D world. And when you trust and surrender to God, and allow God to be your source of movement, your life gets so much more magical. When I say if you realize that God is truly the only movement, You will stop looking for movement. And I say that because y'all can look at your own 3D situation now. You never see movement. You know why you don't physically see movement in the 3D? Because God is the movement, and that movement is an internal shift. Okay, let me see if I missed any question. Uh, you said you thought about that video. Yes, like, girl, that video was so cute, Mama K. I loved it. How do we get out of seeing movement versus full manifestation? I feel like that's kind of what I touched on is understand just I want you to use a different word, princess, than movement. I think that's what we get hung up. Yeah, I know I talk about words and what type of energy they carry. And when we think of the term movement, when we're thinking about manifestation, it has a lot of resistance to it because now it means you're seeking in the 3D. So I want you to stop using the word movement and you can just say God's love. I feel like that will help shift your subconscious mind to accepting that God's love is the movement. So I hope that makes sense, Goddess. Yes, and I feel like one thing about surrender I love, like, we get to a point where a lot of us tend to surrender in this 3D when we get to a point where we're completely fed up. Like, I'm completely fed up with life. I'm completely fed up with all of this. I'm so tired of being close to almost. So, you have no other choice but to surrender it to God. It sucks that you have to use that to get you there. But when you get to a certain state of consciousness, you realize that you don't even need all of that rah rah to surrender. You realize that you're living in a constant state of surrender because you trust God. That's literally what surrender becomes. It becomes trust. Like, I trust God enough to surrender every single one of my desires to God because my desires came from God, so I know that they are already fulfilled. That is what surrender really is trusting that creation is actually finished and you do not have to do anything. When I say, y'all, this is such a deja vu moment. Oh, this is such a deja vu moment. Thank you, God. But when I say this is going to be for, if y'all here now, this is going to be very much so for my advanced spiritual goddesses and gods. When I say you don't have to do anything, I truly mean you don't have to do anything. And this goes back to that trippy experience that I was describing, how it's a hologram and how it truly shifted right in front of my eyes. I did not have to do anything. I just simply was open to God, surrendered my humanness, my vessel to God, and been willing to accept that God's love is the movement. I said, okay, God, show me what you need to see. I'm not afraid. But I feel like when you move through life in fear, all of this is so good. When I say the only warfare is going to be the war within yourself, and that's fear. Because when you're moving through life with fear, it is truly a sense of mind control. Uh, y'all, when I say fear is mind control, it will stop you from doing so many things out of a future, unknown future. You don't even know how it's going to play out, but that fear will tell you, "Oh, this isn't going to work out. It hasn't worked out all of this time. What makes you think it's going to work out now?" Because God loves me and I have infinite chances. Like, if it didn't work out in the past, well, guess what? I have unlimited chances to continue to try. So, when you get that up and finally fully surrender to God, fully get step out of fear, let the war stop being a war, and understand that it's a dance of harmony. You don't have to do anything. That is one thing God has shown me. It's so crazy, y'all. So a lot of y'all know, I feel like I'm all over the place, but it is what it is. A lot of y'all know I have retired from my 9 to 5. Um, was it in the last month? I believe it was in the last month, maybe beginning this month. I don't know. But I had no idea the dance or what God was going to reveal to me since. When I was like, you get paid to exist, God was really meaning that. Like, you don't have to do anything. God is nothing that you don't want to do. You don't have to do it. When I tell you, I get up and do whatever I want to do today. Like, I don't have a limit. I don't care what day it is. I don't even be knowing the days of the week anymore. I'm like, what do I want to do today? Like, what experiences do I want to have today? And that's really how I start my day. Like, God, these are the type of experiences I want to have. But a lot of the times now, because I'm in a real complete state of surrender, I don't even tell God what I want to experience. I just allow it to unfold. I'm like, God, you know me. I trust you. You've been knowing me, but now I trust that you know me. And I allow you to bring in whatever experiences that I want to have today. And I know that, whatever those experiences are, you'll keep doing it. So let me see. Literally, you have to have a ball for real, for real. That's why they say it puts you in a cage. Like, yes, like fear. When people talk about the devil, I truly think the only devil is fear. And I feel like fear is within you. Like, that's why I said it's a war with yourself, because you're battling fear that's within yourself. Once you surrender that and let that go, whew, it's like you learn to, excuse me, it's like you learn to dance around or dance with fear. Like, yeah, in it together. Like, this fear is not going to stop me. Like, I have my human emotions, but this fear does not control me. And I trust and surrender this up to God. Like, that's what it becomes. I feel like I didn't expect this journey to take me on a deeper, more spiritual journey. And I feel like that's what God was showing me when I say the divine harmony, being the alchemist, is like both of these things can coexist. I was laughing when I was getting these in meditation, because God was like, you can be spiritual, understand these spiritual concepts, understand this is a hologram, live in your divinity, but still have common sense, which is the humanness of it all. It's like, I'm not escaping the matrix. I'm not escaping reality. I'm learning to dance and play within the matrix. And that is literally the beauty of it. That's literally the divine symphony of it. It's like learning to truly dance in the world, but knowing that I'm not of the world. So none of this stuff actually really matters to me. But I'm here, so I'm here for the experience of it all. Okay, let me go back now. True, before LOA, I didn't have a word for it. I just said I was clarifying my desires, because I would just reiterate what actually I want, and I trust that it's coming. Yes. When I say I have been living with zero self-doubt, I don't even know how to explain it, y'all. Like, I literally believe with 100% certainty that every last one of my desires has already manifested. And this is why I'm telling you, I just enjoy my day, because it's like, what is to rush to? What is to worry about? I've already known that it's done. I literally trust God with my entire life. So I don't have to worry about anything. I'm like, if y'all can trust a human with your entire life, if you can trust a pilot to get you to your destination safely, and you have never met this pilot, you don't, this is a human. You don't know if this pilot was drinking the night before. You don't know anything, but you trust this pilot to get you there. That is the type of trust I have for God. Like, but I know God. So I'm like, I can trust God, this infinite being, this all powerful being, with my life. And I do. Okay, let me see. How long? Damn, y'all. I'm going to manifest an overall effortless life, not just easier, faster manifesting, which has been my focus before. Yes, when I say your manifestations truly just become a byproduct of it all, that's literally what it comes. And I can't wait till all my gods and goddesses on the live and watching the replay has the experience of like this divine symphony. And I know y'all gonna have this experience because we're all connected. If y'all already haven't had it, y'all going to have it, because it's like, y'all, it was like I was watching art unfold in front of me in meditation, and I couldn't even put it into words. This is why I just start crying, because it was the most beautiful experience I've ever felt when it came to God's love. It's like I couldn't think of anything more beautiful. See, exactly. You had a whole drunk time, and you had to trust him to get you there. And God's not drunk. So imagine the type of safety and love and peace that God can deliver for you when you fully surrender. And princess, you've been here, goddess. So I know that you don't even need a bridge of incidents. If you say a prayer and ask God to simply remove the bridge of incidents, allow your mind to be blown, allow your humanness to be blown, because your spirit already knows all of this, but allow your humanness to be blown. I decided today I don't experience dire situation. I realized I can just opt out. Yes, you can just opt out of it. Really, it really becomes that. It's like, are you giving this your attention? Yeah. You know what? I can just stop doing that. Like, you know what? Why am I doing this? That's literally a lot of the revelations I get when I'm doing something that I don't want to experience. I'll stop and like, why am I even entertaining this? Like, you know what? I'm done. And y'all, when I say, oh my God, that's another thing I want to touch on. Told you I didn't know how long this live was going to be. I just knew it was so many things. When I say fall into love and me been falling into love and understanding that I'm loved no matter what, like I'm not loved because this person exists. I'm literally the definition of love. I embody love. When I tell y'all, having this type of, I don't even know what to call, I guess the Kundalini awakening, it magnetizes everything around y'all. Y'all know I've been saying lucid luxury, everything is magnetized here. But when you are truly in love, like truly into it, understanding like you're inside of it, everything around you magnetizes, which means every person, everything that you love magnetizes. I feel like I'm deeper in love with life. I'm deeper in love with the people in my life. I'm just deeper in love, but I feel completely detached from it. That is the beauty. I didn't even know those two things can coexist, but that goes back to that divine symphony. Is two things can coexist. It's like I'm deeper in love with life while also being detached from it all, which means that I know these moments are fleeting, but it doesn't change the type of love I have for it. Like I just love it even more. Like I just be in awe with everything. Like to me, literally the good, the bad, I'm just in awe with it all because I'm like, I get to have this experience. That is where my mind be now. Like when I just have experiences, it's like I literally get the luxury as a vessel of the divine to have this experience. Like how beautiful is that? And it just makes me fall in love with it even more. Okay, let me see. Reminds me of the quote, my may the bridges I burn light my path. Something like that. Yeah. I feel like I heard that. You don't even need those bridges, princess. If you accept it, we are moving the bridge of incidents for you. You don't need a bridge of incidents. I feel like you are awakened enough to know that your manifestations can reveal right in front of you without any logical reason. The logic is because you wanted it. That's enough. I feel like that's where I be at. Like I don't need a logical reason why this is showing up for me. I want it. That's enough. Like I have a desire for it. That is my reason. Okay, now let me see if I go up before. Mm, okay. I think that was everything, goddess is. Let me make sure I recap. Yes, I feel like the bridge of incidents sometimes can be a waiting game because our logical mind wants something to explain why this happens. But if you remove the bridge of incidents, it allows it to just show up because you're willing to just accept this as true for you. Like you don't need a reason. I feel like that's where the bridge of incidents come in. Like I need a reason why this has happened. When you remove the bridge of incidents, you're saying, I don't need a reason why this happened. I just accepted that this happens and this is my reality. But yeah, I feel like that's what it all boils down to. Just being that Kundalini awakening is really just being in God's love, being into it, truly being in harmony with it, understanding that the only war is the war that you're creating within yourself. And that war tends to be with the ego, it tends to be with fear, it tends to be with limitation. And all of that is within yourself. But when you are in divine harmony, when you're doing this divine symphony, you're doing this dance, that means you are surrendering and trusting in God's love. That's literally what it boils down to. It's like we can use all these beautiful poetic words, but it really boils down to that you are surrendering and trust in God's love. That is your movement. The fact that God loves you, the fact that you have surrendered this up to God, that is your movement. Any movement in the 3D that you're looking for is going to be an illusion. It's going to give you the illusion of you being fulfilled, of you being satisfied, but then you're going to continue to seek. But if you are resting in God's love, that truly becomes enough and you get to change your hologram. This is why I say be in the world, but not of the world, because the shift is within yourself. it's like we hear this, we hear a lot of spiritual people talk about it, and I get it because I feel like I used to be one of those people like, oh, well, yeah, sure, it's within myself. But it really is. When you truly shift within yourself, the 3D reflects it. That's why they say, as above, so below, as within, so without. It all becomes within you. This entire world that exists within your own state of mind. That is the craziest part of it all. Y'all watching me on this video on TV or wherever y'all watching me is because y'all created me. Like, I only exist in your mind, literally how it is. You just created me to remind you of your own power. Everything in the 3D simply takes you back to your own power. Everything that you see within the world is something you created to remind you of your own power. And at any given point, you can remember and wake up to your own power. Like, you can remember that you are a vessel for the divine. You can remember that you're a grain of salt, grain of sand in the desert. You're what a wave in the ocean, a drop in the ocean, but you're still of the same source. And once you choose to remember that and operate in that, your 3D is going to change. I promise you, it's going to change. Y'all watch my journey. It's going to change. Okay, y'all. That's literally all I can do is surrender. I don't care how I'm getting in this. Mama K, the fact that you have mentioned a penthouse, I have been journaling about my penthouse all day to the point where I created a whole plan, like my whole year plan. I said, okay, so this is what I'm going to do for the next 12 months. And I do this from a memory, like, oh, has happened. Like, and I don't have a doubt about it. So, yes, Mama K, let me be your confirmation that you are already in your penthouse. All of this is simply unfolding for you. So, enjoy the ride. Okay. Uh, I feel like y'all goddesses that are here right now, y'all are literally all at the point where you don't need a bridge of incidents and allow the magic to happen. That's really what I want to invite y'all. Allow God to truly blow your mind. If you say any prayer before you go to bed tonight, say, God, I'm allowing you to blow my mind. Like, I'm allowing you to blow my mind with what I think is impossible. And dream big. Again, be delusional. And I'm not talking about delusional as, oh, I'm going to get a car. I mean, that's child's play, honestly. And we're not doing child's play. Be as delusional as you can think of. Whatever you think you want or desire, I want you to write it down. And then I want you to throw that shit away and get more delusional. Sorry, y'all. That's just how I felt about it. Like, whatever you think you're dreaming of, it's not big enough. That's going to be what the quantum jump is. It's having the audacity. That's really what it came to me as. Like, have the audacity to dream bigger. Why are you putting limitations on a limitless God? And you are a vessel for the divine. Ye are gods. You are an expression of God. Stop playing this game small. So write your manifestations down, throw it in the trash, and try again. Get bigger, because I promise you the 3D is going to meet you at your level of audacity, at your level of expectation. So stop expecting bullshit to happen to you. Stop doing that. Expect the most magical, mystical, beautiful experiences and trust that. Surrender that to God and only entertain those types of experiences. Okay. Yes, like God is saying, literally, when I tell y'all, I'm like, this is you playing a child's play game. Like, you are beyond preschool now. Like, you're not in preschool anymore. If you're here, you're not in preschool anymore. Take the training wheels off that damn bike. Dream bigger. And the 3D is going to meet you at your level of audacity. Anyway, goddesses, have a beautiful night. I'm sending you beautiful, magical, mystical energy in your dreams tonight. You're going to wake up in your most highest, most beautiful, dream reality, and it's going to be even bigger than anything you've ever expected. I'm allowing you to, I'm having the audacity and giving you the audacity to remove the bridge of incidents. If you are here, you're not in preschool, you don't need your training wheels, you do not need a bridge of incidents, but you have to have the audacity to believe that. You have to have the audacity to claim that. You have to have the audacity to live in your power. Stop playing it small, goddesses. Don't entertain the BS. If it's something you do not want to experience, do not give it your attention, because your attention is currency. Your attention is energy. You are exchanging your energy for something you don't want to experience. You now have the privilege and opportunity to stop doing that. Only entertain experiences that you actually desire to have. That is going to change your life. And remember, always be a passenger princess to your God self. I promise you, God is just waiting for you to come home. God is waiting for you to say a word. God is simply waiting for you to remember that you were always home. You were always in your kingdom of heaven. You were always in God's love. It is up to you to claim that and stop having this war with yourself. Be in harmony with yourself. Stop fighting a battle that do not exist. That's literally what it's going to come down to. Stop fighting these imaginary battles. Just live in love. And as always, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm free. Yahweh, bye.